All right, welcome back to the Random Randomizer here on This Is Wrestling. Lee Versage and Zach McGibbon with super fan Ben Soubliere, the host.
Super fan.
I know you're trying to get your little Edge Adam Copeland thing over, but you're not getting past Jimmy Snuka, okay? Not happening. What is happening is another random list coming up. So Zach McGibbon and myself, Lee Versage, will hear 5 different names under a category, and we will have to put them blindly into a top 5 ranking, not knowing what is coming next. So a lot of strategy involved, a lot of intelligence,
a lot of intensity,
Zach,
and integrity. Again, going back to me.
Zach brings the intensity.
All 3 eyes.
Intensity?
All 3 eyes, I say, but all right.
Yeah. There's nobody that talks about themselves 3 times. I like Zach McGibbon. Okay.
Yeah.
Then looking forward to the list. And what are we playing with today?
Today's list is going to be best wrestlers never to win a world title.
Okay.
I like it.
This is going to be.
Yeah.
There's going to be some
very
debates.
broad. This could be very broad. We'll see where this
I
goes.
didn't go very broad with this. I kept it to WWE and WWF.
Okay.
Because if you start getting into the nuances of what is considered a world title, you could really slice and dice this. So I went with WWE, WWF.
That's a host that knows we don't need more debate than what these guys are going to bring already. I like it.
I can barely keep the list in order after we recap. So like I can't slice and dice this anymore. So let's jump into it.
All right.
So option number 1 for your rankings is Owen Hart.
Oh.
Ooh, that's a good one right off the bat.
Right off the bat, that's going to be a very difficult one to rank.
Yeah.
Because in your mind already, you're starting to think, okay, what are the other wrestlers that he's going to mention that never won a world title? Oh,
man. Well, I will say with Owen, his peak time to win that world title was about 94 to 96, 97. Then he was being downcycled on the card at 98 onwards.
Yeah.
So, and they never played off of the screw job stuff with Owen. So I don't know if he was ever going to win a world title until his untimely death, unfortunately. But
WrestleMania 94 when he beat Brett.
Yeah, WrestleMania 10 there, the opener.
And then when Brett went on to win the world title.
Yep. That was probably the closest.
Feel like at some point he should have beat his brother for the world title, even if he gave it back to him.
Yeah.
What are you thinking here?
My immediate reaction was number 2.
You know what? I had the same thought. So we're going to lock it in. No more discussion. Owen Hart, our number 2 selection.
Fine speech. Your next wrestler to rank.
Is that saying how smart I am without like kind of passing it off like it's a little bit sarcastic? Fine speech. All right, we'll move on. Like, actually, you guys are really intelligent. Is that what you're saying?
Maybe.
Okay.
I think he's
maybe
just playing off
like
of
quoting,
John Cena.
Yeah, maybe I just like quoting John Cena.
Fine.
I didn't take off the hat and didn't rub the back of my head though.
Okay.
Time to go to work.
Yep. All right. So next on the list, I'm going to give you the one Razor Ramon. Scott Hall. Take your pick.
It's a pretty solid one with Razor.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
he got
lower on him
over.
than Owen for sure.
Same.
Yeah.
This is not a number 1.
Yeah.
He got over. I don't think he was ever a great wrestler. He was good.
Yeah. He threw some pretty punches, let me tell you that.
Yeah, no, he was a perfect WWE, WWF guy, right? Could get the act over. I loved his old theme song. Even watching him more from Scott Hall when he teamed with Kurt Hennig in AWA, where it was just kind of a big lug. Like he didn't really do anything and moved into the Razor Ramon gimmick. I loved him.
Yep.
Just not as a wrestler.
Hey, yo.
Hey, yo. He is one of the coolest wrestlers. Like,
Hey, yo.
you just see him as like, man, nobody else could pull off the Tony Montana
Yeah.
gimmick like Scott Hall could. So man, he certainly had a look, and he was so charismatic.
Yeah.
But I can't go higher than Owen on this. I'm hovering around like a 3 or 4. That's
Yeah.
I
say we put him at 4.
Okay. Yeah, I feel good about 4. I like, there's a lot of things to like about Scott Hall. Again, like, wrestling students should be looking at how to punch like Scott Hall. He's got
Yeah.
one of the best punches in wrestling, and obviously you want to see a guy that can be cool and charismatic. And as an ode to you for ECW, Lee, when he showed up at ECW to that Boogie song or whatever, like, that was unreal.
The Fugees.
That's what the Fugees.
Yeah. Ready or not, I was at a WCW house show in Buffalo, New York, where he and Kevin Nash, with the NWO, black and white in their heyday, came out to Ready or Not, and not the NWO song as well. That's so Scott Hall was carrying that over from his ECW time. So yeah, I'm good with number 4.
Yeah, me too.
All right, to change it up a little bit of change of pace. Somebody from the women's division, Luna Vachon.
Ooh, I was not expecting that name at
No.
all. Wow.
Again, quite charismatic and definitely memorable, but not in the ring. Like, I don't have do you remember when Luna Vachon fought blank? Because the answer is no. I'm going to put this at number 5 myself. Zach, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm thinking 5 too. I think her character is a little ahead of her time.
Yep.
I think she would be perfect in this era of professional wrestling. But yeah, it's tough because it's like, I don't know if it's so much of her or just like the way that women's wrestling was during her time. There wasn't a lot of really like great in-ring workers on the women's side just because of the way that they were trained at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's tough. It was tougher for her to really break out, but her character was something different at that time and totally unique that I feel like she's ahead of her time, but at the same time, I've also kind of hovering around that number 5 slot. So, but that's an interesting name that I wasn't expecting here.
Zach with, she was ahead of her time, but at the same time, and I thought he was going to go back in time. We put her at the back of the list. Luna Vachon, number 5.
All right. Only 2 more left to rank. So I'm going to give you 1, Jake the Snake Roberts.
I knew
that's my number 1. That's my number 1. Yeah. That time in the WWF in the late 80s, like, I know you lived through it, Lee, but like, just even going back in history on it, like, that there was a time where he should have been the guy that won the world title. And with the promos and the character, the gimmick, even the wrestling, like, I think he's number 1 personally. Like, there was a time where he was one of the most over guys and probably should have had the title. Mm-hmm. There's that famous story of him with Hogan on the Snake Pit episode, and Hogan got booed and they didn't want that crowd reaction. So the tape has never been seen on TV. So, because they wanted to set up a program between Hogan and Jake. So I remember many years ago, as a fun fact, Jake the Snake Roberts was my very first wrestling and general radio interview was Jake the Snake Roberts. And I asked him,
were you great in that interview?
I don't know. I was very nervous in that interview. I still have audio from that interview. Maybe it will see the light of day once again. But I said at that time that I asked him, what was it like? Why didn't you win the world title at that time? And he said that wasn't what my character was supposed to be at that time. And I'm at peace with knowing that I never won a world title because I was able to do different things in the wrestling industry. But man, like, for me, he's number 1.
It's hard to argue. I don't know. Again, when you watched him in the ring, did he have these like matte classics? No, but he was the most hated guy by a long shot. And if you ever strap that world title to him and had a program, because at some point Hogan's just going to get it back.
Yep.
But to me, they missed the time period where they should have done that and then tried to do something really just heinous with Sergeant Slaughter in the Gulf War, where you're like, well, if you just had gone back a year or two and given Jake the Snake Roberts the belt for a year,
yeah,
then to have Hogan finally overcome him. But all the stuff he did with even Macho Man and having the snake bite him, so much stuff. I feel a little bit bad for Owen Hart here, but Owen Hart didn't have nearly the charisma or the personality that Jake the Snake Roberts did in his prime. So, number 1 on the list, Jake the Snake Roberts.
Was really hoping you were going to leave that number 1 spot open for some hijinks and shenanigans. So, last person to rank on this list, which spot do we have open?
3.
Number 3 is the purveyor of the Milan Miracle, Santino Marella.
Yes.
See, that's why, Zach, when you get somebody that you're debating number 1, you usually go with that person.
Yeah.
Because I'm very happy that Santino Marella not in the number 1 slot of best wrestler to never win a world title.
Not loving him ahead of Scott Hall, but I can live with it.
No, again, but they're only 1 apart, and I still would put Santino ahead of Luna.
Yeah.
I still would. So
it would be more of a debate with Luna, but I wouldn't be upset.
Yeah, but look, all of our debates are within like 1 slot.
Yeah.
And that's not bad.
Yeah,
and
that's not bad.
Our top 2 of Jake the Snake Roberts and Owen Hart on this list feel like the best 2 options.
Was hoping you would maybe try to save the number 1 spot for a Rowdy Piper,
which I thought was coming,
or maybe a Mr. Perfect. Tried to bait you a little bit, but you guys made the right choice.
I didn't. Well, not that I didn't remember Mr. Perfect, but he didn't come to mind. It was Rowdy Piper that I'm like, well, is he going to come? Is he going to come? He never came. It's a good decision.
Yep.
Jake the Snake Roberts and Owen Hart in the top 2 spots. Zach, you and I, we're quite good at this game.
This is pretty good. I'm actually pretty happy with some of these lists.
Yeah, the randomizer doesn't really get one over on us.
I'll try harder next round.
Okay. Well, you try harder next round. Until then, in the meantime and in between time, you've been listening to the Random Randomizer, and this is wrestling.